the reckless driving, the speeding of Shedeur Sanders cost him in the long run when it comes to being the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. Let's talk about it. Now, it all depends on who you ask when we're asking that question. You have the one side who loves Shedeur Sanders, he can do no wrong. And then you have the other side who is waiting for him to drop a cup of milk and they are ready to pounce and say, I told you so, ha, ha, ha. But let's talk about it. First of all, this is the second time he has been pulled over for speeding. Now, that's a little bit of concerning to me. He was pulled over on June 5th going 91 in a 65. And then he was pulled over on Tuesday morning going 101 in a 60-mile-an-hour zone. Now, there is a lot more things in life that are serious than speeding, you know, assault, domestic violence, things like that. More serious than a speeding ticket. But speeding is not something you want to do, especially when it is that egregious. Going 101 miles an hour. There is no reason in life you should be going 100 miles an hour. I don't care. Because there's no speeding zone that's 100 miles an hour. There's no speeding zone that's 90. So you can't say, well, he's only going 10 miles an hour over. I don't see the big deal. Now, when I first heard of this, when I went live, I was like, okay, a speeding ticket. I never got on Miles when he was speeding. I was like, whoopity-doo, it's Myles Garrett. But when it's two times and it's this close together, it's a caution to pause and say, okay, what's really going on in this situation with Shedeur Sanders? Now, me personally, am I going to hold it against him? No. But do I want him to make better decisions? Yes. In the future? Yes. But when it comes to being the quarterback of the Cleveland Browns, could this affect him? Will it hurt him in the long run? I think it has the potential to. And let me tell you why. First, you will have people who will blow this out of proportion. You will have media members that will take this and run with it, like one Colin Cowherd, who will take just one little incident and then go miles. And let me take you to Exhibit A.
I warned Cleveland about Johnny Manziel. Colin, you're overreacting. Uncle Colin was right. I warned you that Baker was good, but too immature. I was right on that, too, and Stefanski eventually showed him the door. Baker now has grown up. I like this Baker, but I was right. And I was right about Deshaun Watson. Creepy, cringy. That's not a leader at that position. But I have now, in the last couple of months, two things that really turned me off with Shedeur Sanders, who I have championed. That cringy, awful, legendary draft room. Now, this. As of today, I don't think about him the same.
Now, before this incident, Colin Cowherd was saying Shedeur Sanders is the future. Shedeur Sanders is the quarterback for the Browns. They're going to start Shedeur Sanders. He was on Team Sanders. But now, after this incident, this mistake, now they say one time's a mistake, two times a trend, something like that. He's off. He's done. He is out of here. Now, come on. Like that, to me, you have the camp that is waiting for a mistake and they're ready to roll. One mistake or mess up or mishap, they're out of here. Now, you can say it's two mistakes, I'm out, but you understand what I'm saying. So, when I say it could mess up his chances to be the quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, this is why. Because there was a reason he dropped to the 5th round of the NFL draft. Because people didn't want him for whatever reason. It had nothing to do with the talent. And people that say it has things to do with the talent, they're lying through their teeth. It had everything to do with his personality. They didn't like the legendary. They say maybe he came off cocky. They didn't like his attitude. So when you have things like this that's happening off the field, you are just giving them ammunition, ammo to use against you. And this is why I want Shedeur Sanders. He has to be buttoned up. He has to watch things like this because this could make him climb an uphill battle. Now, will the Browns hold it against him? I don't know. I'm not in those rooms. They're going to say all the right things. We've talked to Shedeur. We're not going to use this against them. Yeah, they're going to save face. They're going to say these things. We don't know what's happening inside those closed doors. They could have a pen right now and be like, well, he's not going to play with the starters for another week because of this. We don't know what they're thinking inside. So if I'm Shedeur Sanders, don't give them any tool, any fuel, any reason to keep you from being your destiny of being a starter quarterback when it comes to the football side of things. Off the field antics matter when you're a quarterback in the NFL. Life is not fair. If a right guard does this same thing, nobody's talking about it right now. If it's a right guard, okay, they're not talking about it because a right guard is not a quarterback. A quarterback is the most important position in the NFL. That's a fact. Write it down. They're not talking about it right now. And then you hear people saying it's a 5th round pick. Why do we keep talking about it? Because he's not really a 5th round pick. He was 1st round talent, 2nd round at that. This is not your normal 5th round pick. He's already starting behind the 8 ball here. He has got to button up everything that he does. If we started today, who's the starting quarterback going to be? It's going to be Joe Flacco or Kenny Pickett or Joe Flacco, and then Dillon Gabriel. He would have to ball out of control come preseason training camp to make the coaches go, we can't sit this young man. And that's without having any off the field issues, any off the field mishaps, no mistakes, nothing. But now we already have 2. And I have been on live stream saying, I like Shedeur Sanders. I am in the Shedeur Sanders, I want to see him start because I want to see what he has. I want him to be the future. Why? Because it's entertaining. It's something to watch. It is he has star caliber qualities about him. He will put your team on the map. Prime time. I don't think Dillon Gabriel will do that. Joe Flacco's old. And I don't think anybody wants Kenny Pickett just to be that guy. But that's just my personal opinion. But for that to happen, he has to watch the off the field issues. He's going to have to be lights out on the field to even become the starter because right now he's number 4 on the depth chart. Now let's talk about speeding in general. It's not safe, first of all. Let's just keep it a buck. It's not safe. So you shouldn't be speeding. And it's 2 times now. And it's very close back to back. So that's on a more serious note. It's not a safe thing to be speeding, to be going over the speed limit at that high of level. So I hope that he can learn from this and this will not continue to happen. Because 1, he's putting himself in danger. And 2, he's putting other people's lives at danger too. And I know maybe it's late at night and nobody's out, but that's not the point. You never know what can happen in life when you're driving this fast. It's not a safe thing to do. You want to keep yourself safe and you want other human beings to be safe too. So hopefully he keeps this in wraps. So will this reckless driving by Shedeur Sanders end up hurting his chances to be the starting quarterback? If I had to answer right now, I'd say no. And the reason why I say this is because it's only June the 20th. He doesn't have any other off the field problems. And I think he already has an uphill battle because he has to perform at a high level to be the starting quarterback. I think this is going to be a deciding factor. Well, now that you got this, we can't make you the starter now. He's got a lot more things that he's going to have to be able to do in his power, in his control to be the starting quarterback, that this right here is not going to be the deciding factor. You know the drill. If you made it this long in the video, at the end of your comment, #Shedeur, because that's what the video is about. I appreciate all your love, all your support, trying to get back in the swing of things. Life has been kicking my butt, but you don't care about my personal issues at this point in time. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe, turn on all your notifications. And until next time, it's all love. Peace.